Hi, and welcome back to Roulette's Play Her Story. When we last left off, we found out that there was a mirror involved, and apparently Simon was having an affair with Eve. At least this is what I gathered. Let's find out more.
An affair. Simon wasn't having an affair.
Whoops. I think I just accidentally played it twice.
You're reaching here. Oh, I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
Okay, so let's try cheating instead.
Mum and Dad never knew what was going on. We got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was best at a subject would sit the exam. There were lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at.
I wonder what her specialties were. Let me just try cheating instead. Nope. And cheated. Ooh. Okay. Quite a lot on that one.
No, I have never been unfaithful. I've never cheated on Simon.
She seems genuinely upset about that question.
Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday.
And yet there's no emotion
Simon
this time.
never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale.
Harsh reality.
You do what you can. It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Ah. Okay. So let's find out more about... Well, let's look up secret first. Oop, one more. Ooh, these are the best interviews, the one that are in the interrogation room.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we left in the book. The knock code. Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
I wish I knew the knock code right now. I'm gonna have to go back and try and translate this.
Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
Oh, that's why they had that cat door. What they call it, a cat slit or something like that?
We loved our cat.
Domino.
He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other.
Oh.
Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
See if there's more about Domino. Nope. Okay. That's interesting that their handwriting is identical. I don't know enough about twins to know if twins normally have identical handwriting or not. I would imagine not, because that would be a personality difference, right? The little flares of how you do things or not. But then again, they said that they had to be in complete sync, so maybe they taught themselves to have identical handwriting if it is actually two different people. Now I don't know. Alright. Let's find out more about the... oh, I did look up the mirror. Okay, trying to find out more about the mirror that she used to kill Simon with, but I'm not seeing any other entries. Okay, so what about Oxford?
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford. Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
Ah, so that's where Eve worked, was the bar in Oxford.
Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing the bar again and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate them on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
Ah, achievement unlocked. Romantic.
No. I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar.
So she didn't tell her sister how she got pregnant.
But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
So she knew the entire time that it was Simon when she was sleeping with them. Oh my. Lots of entries on that.
Really? You're going to ask me about my sex life? I mean, isn't that private?
Nothing's private during a police investigation.
Are you married? How is your sex life?
Achievement unlocked. Detective Sergeant. Oh, we've accessed 50% of the database. Halfway through then.
Our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
Fairly average, air quotes.
No! You're talking to the wrong person if you think I'm some kind of slut. If you think I'm the kind of person that would have had sex with all those guys.
All those guys? Like the ones Eve has?
I was 15. Carl was older. 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved.
Was Carl with Eve or Hannah?
Teenage sex. We did it in a church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know?
Like your sister?
Family.
See if there's anything more about Carl. Lots about Carl.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local
she was
boy
asking if Simon was.
in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15.
There she says we were 15. And then later she says
family.
he was older.
So Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
Okay, so that's the order of things then.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us.
Huh. That's why you got in a car crash.
Crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity.
What?
It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush.
Oh my god.
After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Oh my.
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date, we went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had the one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems.
That's nice.
The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me, but that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said
The Ouija board, we need to find out more about that.
After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
Wow, he's talented. Guess that was important. Go ahead and save that. Okay, so... Oh gosh. What was it that I said that I needed to look up? Just now I said something, I was like, oh, we need to look up more about... And now I don't remember what it was. Oh, the Ouija board. Yeah, I don't remember how to spell Ouija. No, that's not right. Double I's? Alright. Tell me how to spell Ouija board again, please.
Hannah was so smart on her hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back.
G-A. Okay. O-U-I-G-J-A. G-A. Oh, that's it? Just those two sections? Let's see... more... Oh, no. Was it... What'd they think it was talking through it? No. I wonder what they thought was talking through that board. Did they give a name for it? I don't think they did.
Hannah was so smitten with...
Nope, that's the same one.
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? Mm-hmm. She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and
Okay, so maybe she talks more about Grace. Nope, just that one entry. Okay, so running out of time here. So let me just quickly go over what I think is going on. And I'll write it in the comments below for those of you who need to actually read it for yourself. But I think there are two sisters. There's Eve and there's Hannah. And the whole background was basically one of the twins appeared to be dead during the birth, and she wasn't. But because they only expected the one child, the midwife took the baby away and raised it as her own. Later on, they realized that they have, another sister when the midwife tragically dies on the stairs. Eve learns all of these things from the diary of the midwife and eventually goes across the street. Hannah smuggles her into the house and keeps her up in the attic, where she was the only one that ever went up there because her parents never went. And they kept swapping back and forth all the time. Well, a couple years go by. Eventually the girls start to grow a little bit apart, and Eve decides that she wants to live her own life because Hannah has fallen in love with Simon, wants to marry him, is pregnant, and is becoming completely different from Eve in every way. And everything that Eve tries to do to get pregnant doesn't seem to be working out for her. So when Hannah and Simon end up getting married, Eve ends up donning this blonde wig and starting her own life. One day, just by coincidence, Simon ends up going into the bar that Eve's working in, realizes she looks a hell of a lot like his wife, starts hitting on her. Eventually, they sleep together and Eve gets pregnant. Eve tells her sister Hannah that she got pregnant, and nothing big comes of it, no big to-do of it other than the fact that, Hannah feels inadequate because she's not able to get pregnant all this time with Simon, though she's been trying, because she had a miscarriage with him earlier. Then one day on her birthday, Simon gives her a beautiful mirror that he says is unique and one of a kind. And actually, I should look up the word unique. See real quick. Nope, only that one thing. That he says is unique and one of a kind. And she's thankful for it. Next thing you know, for some reason she's trying on Eve's wig. I don't know why yet. We might not have seen that clip yet. And he comes home to find her in the wig. It starts dawning on Simon, the whole thing about how it's her sister. And he tells Hannah in Eve's wig that he wants to be with her, he loves her, etc. Hannah realizes that he's the one who impregnated her sister, that he cheated on her, all these things, and freaks the fuck out. During this time, they had already met Eve, and because the reaction was so poor about, the revelation to Simon, Eve freaks out and goes driving up to Glasgow. Hannah, meanwhile, is presented with the exact same mirror that Simon gave her on her birthday, only he thinks he's giving it to Eve, and that's the final straw for her. She breaks the mirror in her anger. He moves to her, mad about why she's acting like this, and she swings a shard of the mirror, slicing his throat. In a panic, she calls her sister Eve, who is up in Glasgow, and Eve earlier had gotten into an accident. She crashed the car, and she went to the hospital, realizing she was going to have an alibi, essentially, for Hannah, since nobody knows that they're two separate people. So they go home, hide the body, chop it up, I guess, put it in the bag, put it in the bottom, leave the wristwatch so it can be found and prove that, she wasn't there. She was in Glasgow, allegedly, at that time. They come up with their alibi, and then Hannah, who can't emotionally take the interviews, I guess runs away at that point, and Eve starts taking the interviews for her. So the first couple of interviews are Hannah, the one with the black eye and stuff like that. And then after the black eye goes missing, it's Eve, which is why we start seeing the tattoo at that point. Now, during this, apparently they do some kind of polygraph, and that's when she is discovered to be lying. And I think she then comes clean. Let's see if there's something about a polygraph on here. Nope. How about a lie detector? Ooh, there we go. So when we come back next time, we're going to pick up from here and find out more about the lie detector, and I think that might wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, give me that thumbs up. Subscribe if you want more content, and thank you. I really appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright. Ooh. Wait a second. Interesting. Okay, we'll find out more about that later. Alright. Bye, bye, bye. This is my metal voice. Take a grenade. I am so not metal.